Hey, I'm Brandi Fullwood, and this is Seattle Eats. It's a podcast about Seattle's food scene and the best things to eat in it. Okay, so first of all, things are going to sound a little different around here because I am going to be hosting Seattle Eats going forward. And I know this might feel like when they replace the mom on your favorite show and they just don't say anything, so let's address it. A little bit about me. I'm a classic story of a food lover. I've got a big family where food is super important. I had a relationship with my grandmother that was foundational to the way that I cook. But I love going down the rabbit hole for food. If I love the dish, if it makes me cry, or if it makes me think, I'm going to ask for the recipe. And if there's no recipe, I'm going to recipe develop at home for 3-4 weeks at a time, trying to figure out how to make my own parsnip ice cream or how to make beef cheeks so tender it just feels like a tab of butter on your tongue. I love food, and I'm going to bring that energy to Seattle Eats. Every week, we're still going to make sure that you get the Seattle Eats that you're expecting. The hacks, the best bites, and the buzzy openings. I'm still going to be talking to food critics, food makers, industry people about their go-to spots and the tastiest dishes worth trying. And Tan is even going to come back every now and again and tell me about his favorite spots and insider tips. In fact, in a minute, Tan is going to tell me about which new restaurants in town you should be trying. Let's get into it. Does it feel like Seattle's like one chicken shop away from being London? Some of the latest and greatest restaurant openings are serving chicken wings or chicken tenders that people are standing in lines around the block for. But there's even more. Seattle Times food critic Tan Vinh has been chasing down the latest openings, and he's here to highlight the chicken shops, European bistros, and tangy tagines that are running the block as the buzziest openings in Seattle. Hey, Tan.
Hey, Brandi.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. The pleasure's all mine.
I like this. I like the roles reversed so I can put you in the hot seat. Okay, so if you are a reader of the local gray lady, the Seattle Times, you know that Tan always writes a big list of openings. And more than that, he tries these places to figure out what's actually good. And I already know one spot because we went together and we had a lot of opinions. Tan, let's start with Mio O Mio in Pioneer Square.
We should.
It's a huge complex with a brewery and a pizza shop and a small plates restaurant. It's all from Sea Creatures restaurateur Renee Erickson.
I would call it sort of like a Renee Erickson food hall.
Yeah, food hall is a good description.
In a neighborhood that, what's the best way to put it, that could use some revitalization. It's getting better. It's getting a little more crowded. She has a brewery/beer hall. That's the biggest space. It has like 100 seats at least. She has a slice shop, New York style, just a counter service. But I think what people are interested in is her restaurant. Mio O Mio. It's a Eurocentric menu, like a lot of Renee Erickson's project.
Do you think we ordered well for what we got?
I think you ordered well. You ordered for us. Yeah, I thought it was a good range of food. You order us the cod, the black cod.
Yes.
We didn't like that as much.
No, it was kind of dry.
Yeah, and it was really rich and buttery, and we're discussing this, whether it's rich, creamy, and too buttery because it wasn't a good cut of meat, so they're trying to mask what we had.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just like French food, so it's really rich and creamy. But it's not one of the stronger dishes. But again, it's a fish for around $30.
Yeah.
That's really cheap.
And we also had the Guinness bread, which is something that seems really popular online, at least. You can tell that Renee she's got a lot of great references to other European bistros around, maybe a lot of London spots as well. I thought about Cafe Cecilia when I saw the Guinness bread. And then I loved the lamb. That was my favorite thing that we had. And the pork rillettes.
I would say lamb is the most interesting thing on most menus around Seattle.
The lamb wasn't surprising to me that it was good and that it was on the menu because it feels like every restaurant that she's had, lamb is on the menu.
Yeah. It's sort of like Wallace and Carpenter meets Boat Street Cafe.
This is the kind of place that implies you buy a couple small plates to share, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 if you're feeling hungry. But the price can stack up with that. What did you think about the price point?
I was shocked, Brandi. I thought the food was really affordable for Renee Ericsson's project. And I was thinking about this. I lose sleep over this. This is what goes in my mind. It's like, how does she pull this off? And I would say, for instance, a lot of the main entrees were around $30-some, or lamb ribs was $33. Pretty good portion. They must have had a great deal on this lease because the food is much cheaper than what it would be if this was in Ballard, Feeney, even, or Capitol Hill. The lamb ribs that you had that you love, and I also love, I thought that was the best thing on the menu. That should have been over $40.
What's going on there? Do you feel like that's just a trend that's happening in the Seattle food scene? Because it's not like lamb is getting any cheaper.
Exactly. I just think it's just another interesting cut that people are turning to.
Something new.
Yeah, I've never seen so many dishes with lamb neck and lamb ribs. And it used to be it's mostly Indian restaurants and Chinese restaurants. You have a lot of new American dishes and menus doing this. The most famous dish in Seattle right now is the lamb neck at Little Beast. And the best dish I've had so far is the lamb neck at Corello. And this is also, I think, it's way up there. It's so meaty and fatty, drippy. Brandi, I don't know if you recall, man, all lamb ribs. It was like 7 ribs, I believe. It was so
like it was
drippy.
A whole rack of lamb.
Yeah, it was so drippy and fatty. It's like, oh, my lips were just glistening.
Yeah.
And like lamb fat.
It seemed like she had the parsley and other herbs to go with it.
Yeah.
So it's just like dip after dip.
So you get lamb ribs, burn those sides, and of course, you're expected to fortify your meal with, say, some potatoes for $9, salad for $13. It still adds up, but I think it's a great deal. I should tell listeners, though, it's a tight space. If you've ever been to Lioness, her other place in North Seattle, it's around that size. It's like a nook. It's really small. And I feel like the tables are too small. Because, Brandi, we were sharing, 4 to 5 plates? There was not enough room to maneuver on this small table. And the plates were kind of big. So it's hard to share between us.
It's a small plate spot where you're supposed to order 5 to 6 plates, but there's not enough room on the table for 5 to 6 plates.
Yeah. And you see the logistical problem that Renee Ericsson's restaurant group has. They have a small space, and they're trying to maximize the number of diners. And to do that, they really give everyone these small tables the size of a chessboard. Am I exaggerating?
No.
It feels like it's the size of a chessboard. But if it's small plates and it's shared, then you're going to order 4 to 5 plates like we did. And it was so hard to maneuver. But
yeah,
first world problem.
I mean, as you mentioned, this is a huge complex with a lot of other ideas in there, like the brewery, the pizza shop, this small bistro place. And so it seems like it's primed for a lot of different types of people. Who do you think is going to make this place thrive?
Oh, you look at her real estate on this property, and you know what the target audience is. It's the game fans. It's the apartment dwellers. It's the Seahawks, Mariners, Sounders, and all.
And they even have special hours, right? They said they open 2 hours before the Seahawks game.
Exactly. And it's approachable, right? You can nurse a pint of beer. You can order sausage, sandwich, and pizza.
Yeah.
And that's the other part that she has. She has a pizza counter where you can grab a slice, stand and eat like you do in Europe, or you can bring it over to her beer hall and eat there. So I would say the most interesting restaurant, which is where we went, Mio, is really a small footprint. It's really much about the beer hall, little slice shop. She's going for the high margin product, beer and pizza. Again, flour and water. They're just shooting for Art Walk on the first Thursday of the month, and they're shooting for the sports fans. And they're getting it. I recall the Seahawks place was packed. There was no seatings.
No, it did seem like a lot of people were there, at least on a Thursday night, to be at a brewery. I usually feel like Pioneer Square is packed out, like you said, for Art Walk, filled with a lot of people for the sports crowd. And we'll have FIFA coming in this summer.
Yes.
So the brewery at least sounds like it'll do okay.
Okay. I think the brewery's going to do great.
Yeah.
When the World Cup comes. I mean, because it's a 100-seat beer hall, but there's a lot of standing room around the pizza counter. So you have that going for it. And guess what, Brandi? There's 3 spots under the same roof. There will be a 4th. It's Def & Co., which is a big name, one of the biggest names during the cocktail renaissance. It's in the East Village, kind of speakeasy-esque. They're opening next to Renee Erickson, and they're planning it exactly right before the World Cup.
Wow, so they're really packing it in over there.
Yeah.
Just trying to throw whatever at the wall to make this huge complex work.
Yeah, and we try to anyway, Brandi, talk about food beyond substance. And this is a good example of it, right? It's food, it's pop culture, it's restaurant as an economic engine. Because pretty much, what have we known since the pandemic? Every neighborhood needs help. Chinatown, Pioneer Square has been especially hurt. And this project, a lot of civic leaders and community leaders, especially realtors or banking, that Renee Erickson, I don't think this is an exaggeration, can save this neighborhood or at least raise its profile again. And you know what? It has been much talked about. We're talking about it. And you know what? When I walk around there, the place that's busy is the block around this Renee Erickson project. So
yeah, it's the huge complex with all of her restaurants. There's a Taylor's over there, Salumi's over there.
Exactly. So yes, big opening, not just because of the food, not just because of the name, but because so much is riding on this business district. Because this pretty much is anchoring the new Pioneer Square.
Okay, so Mio Mio in Pioneer Square with these Euro-inspired small plates. What else has been sounding good to you?
Oh, gosh. I am not a fan, but Raising Cane.
You're not a fan. People are lining up down the block for this place. Tell me about your feelings about Raising Cane's, this newly opened up place in the U District.
First off, Raising Cane is pretty much across the street or a block away from where we're taping this.
Yeah.
And I drove over here. The line is like at least a block long. It is freezing outside, people. Oh, this is just crazy. And the fact that some people have camped out overnight for this opening is even bonkers.
Yeah, it's been really long, wrapping down 45th, almost to the light rail stop. And even when you get into the light rail station, it feels like you can tell who's coming for Raising Cane because they have like a lustful chicken tender in their eye. They're just ready. So can you, before we keep going with the Caniacs, can you tell me about the backstory for Raising Cane's? Like, why is this such a big deal here in Seattle?
Your guess is just as good as mine. It's a chicken finger fast food restaurant that started in Louisiana. It's a very simple menu, just crinkle cut French fries, coleslaw, Texas toast, and just chicken fingers that you eat with your finger, or you can order it as a chicken sandwich. And that's it. That's pretty much the entire menu. I don't understand this cult that people have around this. I love fried chicken at gas stations. And I can tell you the chicken tenders and chicken fingers that you get at the gas station when it is fresh out of the fryer is just as good as Raising Cane. The difference is most of the gas station fried chicken you get, it sits under a heat lamp and it dries out. Raising Cane chicken, from the time I've had it, does not dry out. It's juicy on the inside. It's crunchy on the outside. And that's all I can say about it. And I would add, because I want to beat the influencers to this. There is no secret menu, but it's not on the menu, but you can ask for honey mustard dipping sauce. But influencers, you know how they're going to play this. Hey, everybody, did you know Raising Cane has a secret menu? Has a secret sauce on the menu? I wouldn't call that a secret menu item.
Sure.
I would just say it's people who don't like their tangy sauce.
And so they've got this secret sauce. I'm curious about what other secrets they've got, because I know you hate lines. Do you know about a secret flash pass, at least to get you to the front?
No, I don't. The funny thing is, Brandi, when I do the list of restaurant openings, I would say 90% of the restaurants I mentioned are packed or will be packed for the first 3, and they're lucky 4 weeks. Because everyone wants to try the shiny and the new, and then it's back to normal and you move on. Raising Cane is a beast, and it is going to be packed 3 months from now. I would say even a year from now, I think. I'd be very curious.
That seems to be the thing here, and this is going to be a hot spot for people who can't go out to a bar, because that's what happened at Dave's Hot. Long lines for chicken, and you're like, who's going here? And it's just bright-eyed people with pocket money.
Yeah, because that, to my chagrin, when I wrote about the opening Dave's Chicken on Capitol Hill, I had no idea it was going to be such a big hit with lines out the door a year later.
Yeah.
A year later. Right.
If you can't get into the club, it's probably worth getting in line for.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, add in the fact that there are a few chicken spots that closed in the U District. So Raising Cane's is a warm welcome to a lot of people who are missing chicken on the Ave. You know, the saying, when one chicken shop closes, another one opens.
Ah, yes. It's funny you should say that, Brandi, because my third pick is another chicken shop. And I would say this is much better than Raising Cane. Mangosteen Chicken Shop is in South Seattle in the Othello neighborhood.
Okay. So a second chicken shop. My theory of Seattle becoming London is just growing every day. We're really embracing chicken shops. So what's up with Mangosteen?
So Mangosteen is run by Chef Tai Ha. It's a halal chicken shop, but the owner is Buddhist. The only reason why he does that is because it's located in a big Muslim community.
Okay. Chicken for the people.
There you go. His chicken wings are, I think, some of the best in Seattle. I think a lot of chefs who have tried it will tell you that. And what it is, it's basically just umami wings. It's like pak pak wing, if you had ever had that in Portland. But what they do here in their shop is basically chicken wings, dressed up in various marinade. But the one that everyone gets is a fish sauce wing. It's extra crunchy. That's what's different about it. I asked him how he get it so crispy because I never had wings this crispy before. And he said it's a secret recipe. It's so secretive that his family doesn't know about it. His business partner doesn't know about it. He comes to the shop at night and he puts the batter together. And then he goes home to Lake Stevens. Mm-hmm. And he tells me that it's in his will that if he dies, then the recipe will be released to his wife. Is this like really like Kentucky Fried Chicken level secret formula recipe? I don't know about that because I've had a lot of crispy wings and I would say the secret is cornstarch. That's what a lot of people use. But I will say his is much more crunchy than the others.
Okay. Tell me more about let's get serious. Tell me more about the coating on this mangosteen chicken wing.
Well, he told me it's a 5-flour blend. You want to get it right because he wants a flour that will accentuate the poultry flavor, umami flavor of the sauce, and he wants it to stay crunchy. And that is the secret, the proportion, the ratio. And that's why he's so secretive about it. Mm-hmm.
And what memories did it unlock in your first crunch? Where did you go?
I was impressed because I got to tell you, I've heard a lot of people talk about these chicken wings. I had a lot of wings. I had a lot of Vietnamese wings in Vietnam and here. And I was very impressed. They were very crispy, crackly. It was like, it's a loud, audible crunch. Like, if we were in the shop and I crunch on these wings, you could hear it 3 tables over. Because that's nice, loud, audible. Mm-hmm. So that's what's good about it. Unlike Raising Cane, the lines is not long to get into Mangosteen, so you can easily get a seat, especially on a Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday. They're open 7 days a week.
So let's say we can divert the Raising Cane's crowd down to Mangosteen. What do you think people should order?
You know what? They should get the wings, the fish sauce wings, with an order of garlic butter noodles. It's like a mac and cheese because it's very rich, creamy, has a lot of MSG. They use Maggi, which is like liquid MSG. Their version is $17, which is pretty cheap for a plate of garlic butter noodles. They don't use spaghetti. I would say it's more yakisoba that they use. Pretty good dish. $17 for a plate of noodles. 10 wings for $18 is actually a good deal for South Seattle. If this was on Capitol Hill, it would be much more expensive. Not because this is an ethnic restaurant, because that's what the assumption, but because the real estate is so much cheaper.
Okay. So we got a couple of late night spots, some places for the kids, chicken for the people, and some European bistro style plates. You have a fourth one, and I'm going to guess it's a wild card. What's your fourth pick, Tan?
Oh, it's really underrated. I want everyone to eat at this place because I want it to survive. I have no dog in this fight. I'm very excited when I see something different and new. It's a place along the main restaurant row in Ballard. It's called Andalusia. It's a Moroccan restaurant by a father and daughter. And Brandi, let me have this soapbox right now because I get so angry with listeners every time we do restaurant openings.
Tell them why you're mad.
And the number one complaint is, why are Seattle's restaurateurs not taking risks? Why are there so many pasta place, pizza place, taco place? And this is a good example. You know what's really popular on this restaurant row in Ballard? The pizza place, fish and chips, taco place. The one place in Ballard that was not packed or popular was this new Moroccan restaurant. And that's a shame because it's some of the best food I've had. They do a lamb shank that's stewed with prunes, almonds, sesame seeds, other nuts. And this is not a flavor profile that you would usually get. But it is delicious. It's so good. That lamb shank, it's not that gamey. And it's still very moist and fatty, rich. And you have just unusual flavors in terms of the dry fruit flavors, like the nuttiness, the texture. I just love this dish so much.
So what's the issue? It sounds like a really great menu, stuff that I definitely already gravitate towards. Is it just a cursed location or what?
It's like it's our dine. It's what we like, Brandi, and this is a restaurant that should do really well, right? But when you look at the menu, you see, what do you see? You don't see a smash burger. You don't see a pizza. You see lamb shank that's been stewed and served with prunes. It was very discouraging to me to walk around Ballard and see all these pizza places and taco places just packed. And to see the one restaurant that isn't packed is a new restaurant that serves Moroccan food. And it is good Moroccan food. I'm telling you, it is delicious. It's one of the best dishes I've had.
Oh, well, I'll certainly try it. But I also want to try out a theory on you if you'll walk with me about Andalusia. It's a big shopping area, that part of Ballard. And it seems like people go over there to get quick bites after they buy stuff. So does it just seem like Andalusia doesn't fit the clientele of the area?
I don't think that is a reason, Brandi. I think you're being too generous to people who don't want to take risks in terms of trying something new in the cuisine. I don't buy that, Brandi, because the most popular restaurant in the city right now is Low Beast, and that is a sit-down restaurant. And nearby, Wallace and Carpenter, another Renee Erickson project, also sit-down, expensive dinner. So I don't buy that. I just think this Moroccan restaurant is not as busy just because people don't know what to do with a lamb shank served with prunes. It's just unusual flavor profile because I think when you think of lamb served in the city that's new American, it usually has a smoky, charred flavor. But this, it's stew, which you usually don't get. It's a lamb shank. And it's not the same old flavor like with potatoes and carrots. It's just with nuts and seeds. And it adds some crunchiness and oiliness, and just in a way that we're not used to. But that's not code for, hey, this is inferior. That's just code for, it's just something different, Seattle. Try it.
Yeah. Moroccan Moorish food works in the winter, like all the warm spices. So get out there and try something new.
I think this is what is exactly wrong with the Seattle food scene, Brandi. Because what is the hottest restaurant right now? A fast food chain called Raising Cane. And what is not a hot restaurant that should be hot? This Moroccan place, Andalusia.
So if Seattle diners aren't taking risks, it at least sounds like the restaurateurs are. They're leaning into the fact that we're a big city, that people want to go out, that people want to eat communally, that they want to try new things. You just have to be actually willing to try those new things. You can't just say, where are the risks and not take any yourself.
Exactly. Because there are interesting dishes here.
So as a food writer and a food critic, someone who observes our food culture, you're kind of hoping that more people will have that kind of cult following for the local places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, what fast food place locally that has this kind of mojo?
I mean, Dick's? I've never seen a line like this. Actually, I have seen a line like this at Dick's when they sell their burgers for like 30 cents.
Yeah.
The line is wrapped. But never at Ezel's, never at an Ivar's,
Exactly.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
Yeah, not at Taco Time. But other than Dick's, there is no other local food chain that has this kind of fandom.
Yeah, we got to get Malcolmore to get on top of Ezel's or something. Well, Tan, thank you so much for all of your recommendations, and thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
That's it for today. We have a list of all the restaurants we talked about in the description of this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to find out about the best fries in Seattle.
So the ideal fry has to be somewhat crispy. It has to have a little bit of a snap on the outside. You want to have some palpable salt there. And then when you bite in or if you break it, there should be some steam coming out of it.
Seattle Eats is hosted by me, Brandi Fullwood, and you can get in touch with me at seattleeats@kuow.org. But I also want to know more about the Seattle food scene through you. What's your go-to spot in Seattle for lunch or for a first date or, a special occasion like a birthday or anniversary? We have a voicemail box set up for you to call us at 206-543-8510. The show is produced by me and edited by Jim Gates. Seattle Eats is a proud member of the NPR network. You can find more and support the show at kuow.org/eats. And all of that's in the description of the show. Talk soon.